It is human nature that when faced with a serious challenge or crisis, people tend to come together and become more united. They work hard to make sure that everyone's needs are met. Historically, cooperative societies have tended to emerge during times of extreme difficulty. But in the absence of a serious crisis or threat, unity tends to break down and society usually reverts to individual self-interest. But what's to stop us from making solidarity a deliberate choice? Some people may fear that helping people in need runs counter to the principles of self-reliance and personal responsibility. They worry that if we start bailing out people or businesses, then this will create a moral hazard and people will stop working. When welfare is provided by a third party, such as the government, this may indeed facilitate dependence. But when capital ownership is decentralized and individuals take direct responsibility for the welfare of their peers, then something interesting happens. Everyone becomes more self-reliant. Why? Because they hold each other accountable. Consider the success of microfinance. Microlenders, such as the Grameen Bank, pioneered the use of group lending, in which a small group of entrepreneurs basically co-sign on each other's loans. If one person fails to pay back their loan, then everyone else in the group must make up the difference. So when placed in this situation, entrepreneurs not only work hard to run a profitable business, but they do all they can to ensure that everyone else in the group is also successful. Mutual accountability helps increase the likelihood of success. In a similar way, credit unions operate on the basis of a common bond. Instead of relying solely on collateral to secure loans, they trust that members of the community will hold each other accountable, making it possible to issue loans that might otherwise be too risky. In order for this to really work, the community must be made up of people who know each other. This is why credit unions usually restrict membership to those who are within a particular group or geographic area. In a cooperative system, the purpose of a business is to meet the economic needs of workers. In order to meet workers' needs, businesses must be successful and profitable. But running a business is risky. So how do we deal with this risk without creating a moral hazard? Businesses can solve this dilemma by linking up and committing themselves to a group of reasonable size. By doing so, they can help ensure long-term profitability. And not only this, but they can fully eliminate poverty for everyone who is within the common bond. The Mondragon cooperatives are held together by a central bank, the Caja Laboral. 10% of the profits from each cooperative go to a common fund. If a particular business is struggling, the central bank can provide capital infusions to keep it afloat. If a company is failing and must go out of business, then the workers from that company can be absorbed into other parts of the network. Since all members are co-owners of the organization, they share the responsibility and work hard to ensure that every business is successful. In a true cooperative system, members of a group develop a unique cultural identity. The basis for this identity could be the locale in which they live, their nationality, or some other kind of affiliation. An individual's group affiliation becomes more significant than his or her job or occupation. For example, the Basque people in Spain are culturally and linguistically unique. They consider themselves to be hijos de algo. That is to say, they are of noble birth, but among themselves, everyone is equal. The objective of a cooperative system is to meet the economic and social needs of everyone in that particular group. If there are large numbers of unemployed or underemployed, the question then becomes, what will it take to get everyone fully employed? Today, community development professionals focus on attracting jobs to their locale by offering various incentives. But if communities want to get serious about economic development, they will need to create new businesses that are worker-owned and fully committed to the cooperative network. In the capitalist system, the responsibility for launching new businesses falls upon the individual entrepreneur. But in a cooperative system, a support organization might be better equipped to handle this. For example, a team of business-savvy leaders can proactively seek out and evaluate opportunities, conduct market research and feasibility studies, pull together funding, and build effective management teams. This was the approach taken by the Mondragon cooperatives. The entrepreneurial division of the Caja Laboral was able to create dozens of new cooperative businesses with an astonishingly low failure rate. Today, we tend to have a very limited and romanticized perception of entrepreneurship. Because of outsourcing and the shift toward a service economy, entrepreneurs have tended to focus on businesses that require very little physical capital, such as internet startups, small retail and service businesses, and creative inventions. But by pooling our resources, we could focus on manufacturing and other capital-intensive industries that create lots of high-paying jobs. The technical obstacles are not insurmountable. Cooperative networks thrive as they develop resources in business financing, education, and technology development. The most significant challenge is organizing ourselves, getting a group of people together who are committed to each other, aligned in their values and goals, and willing to bear one another's burdens. Solidarity, that sense of identity and belonging that comes from being part of a unique and distinct group, is the key ingredient. As our society becomes more and more divided, it will become increasingly important for enlightened individuals to build unity and find ways to work together. This unity is cultivated within each of us. Before we can organize ourselves as a society, we must first organize ourselves as individuals. Before we can create transformative tools and systems, we must first become aligned in our values and principles. Only then will we succeed in building an ownership economy.